Yana bir bor
Hello everyone,
assalomu
this is
alaykum,
Andrew
hurmatli
at
Ali
Crown
Education
Academy
onlayn
English.
darslarini
Today we are doing
kuzatuvchilari,
a video
agar siz
about
yangi
the verb to be.
bo'lsangiz, podpisatsiya
And this is the
belgisini
second
bosib
part.
qo'ying, ya'ni
And
YouTube
today
Ali
we're going
Education
to look at
kanaliga
the
hamda
use and meaning.
hozirdan like bosib qo'yishingizni ham so'rayman.
There are two
Bugungi
common
darsimiz
types of use
verb ko'rib
of the verb to
turganingizdek,
be.
ya'ni
The
ingliz tilida
first
fe'l
use
mavzusi, ya'ni
is
to be
as a
fe'llari,
main
bu yerda link
verb.
verblar, yordamchi
And
fe'llarni,
the second
auxiliary
use
verblarni
is as
sizga
an
tushuntirib o'tadi,
auxiliary
albatta
verb.
ingliz
It is
tilida.
also
Marhamat.
called a helping verb. So let's look at each type in more detail. So first of all, to be as a main verb. As a main verb, the verb to be acts as a linking verb. A linking verb. So what is a linking verb? Well, first of all, a linking verb does not describe an action. Most other verbs describe an action, but not a linking verb. A linking verb gives us more information about the subject of the sentence. The subject of the sentence. A linking verb does not take a direct object. So there's no direct object from a linking verb. Instead, a linking verb takes a complement. A complement. So a complement is something that refers back to the subject. And there are three types of complement with the verb to be. So now let's look at several examples of the verb to be as a linking verb. So we can have to be followed by a noun. Here are three examples. I am a teacher. You are a student. Jane is a doctor. So here we have the verb to be as a main verb, as a linking verb. And there is no direct object. Teacher is not a direct object of the verb to be. It is a complement, and it is in fact called a subject complement. So the verb to be is helping us give us more information about the subject of the sentence. The teacher is a subject complement referring back to the subject, I. So you are a student. Jane is a doctor. So these are all examples of the verb to be in the present tense. Okay? We can also have to be followed by an adjective. And this is called an adjective complement. I was tired. You are old. Mark is sad. We were hungry. Okay? So again, this is referring back to the subject. There is no action here. We are just describing the subject. We are giving more information about the subject of the sentence. So here we have the verb to be in the past tense. I was. This is the present. This is the present. This is the past. Okay? So the verb to be is a main verb, a linking verb. And finally, we can have the verb to be with a prepositional phrase. I was in the kitchen. You are under the bridge. They are from Japan. So here are the prepositional phrases in pink. And before it, we have the verb to be, acting as a linking verb. And this is the past, this is the present, and this is the present. And again, there is no action here. We are simply giving more information about the subject of the sentence. So here we are just simply giving more information about where I am, the location, or where they are from. So these are prepositional phrases. So to be, when it is a main verb, the use and the meaning is it indicates the existence of a person or thing. For example, here we are indicating the existence. Or it gives us more information about a person or thing. Like here and here, we are giving more information about the subject. Okay, but there's no action. Now let's look at to be as an auxiliary verb. An auxiliary verb is also called a helping verb because it helps another main verb. Let's look at an example. I am walking. So here we have I am is the verb to be. This is the auxiliary verb, and it is helping the main verb walking. So the whole thing, am walking, I am walking, this is the present continuous tense. So in other words, the present continuous tense is made up of two parts. The first part is the auxiliary verb, the verb to be, and the main verb in the ing form, or the present participle. I am walking. Okay? And there are two common uses of to be as an auxiliary verb. The first one is to be plus the present participle in all of the continuous tenses. This is an example here. But there is another type, another use, and it is to be followed by the past participle. And this gives us the passive voice. The passive voice. So let's look at these uses in a bit more detail. So to be plus the present participle. So as we have already seen, this structure gives us the continuous tenses. So let's look at some of those continuous tenses. The present continuous, this is quite easy. I am walking, you are walking, he, she, it is walking, we are walking, you are walking, and they are walking. So this is the conjugation of the present continuous tense. So it is made up of two parts. The verb to be as an auxiliary verb and the main verb walking in the present participle form or the ing form. Past continuous. And this is made up of the verb to be in the past tense. I was, you were, he, she, it was, we were, you were, they were, plus the present participle, walking. Okay? So this is the auxiliary verb. This is the main verb. Future continuous. I will be walking, you will be walking, he, she, it will be walking, we will be walking, you will be walking, they will be walking. And finally, the present perfect continuous. I have been walking, you have been walking, he, she, it has, with an S, been walking, we have been walking, you have been walking, and they have been walking. So, in red, this is the form of the verb to be, and this is the auxiliary verb, which is helping the main verb, walking. And together, they form the complete tense. Future continuous, present perfect continuous. Okay? Passive voice. So the auxiliary verb to be plus the past participle gives us the passive voice. Here are some examples. The dog is called Toby. The dog is called Toby. Here is the verb to be, and here is the past participle of the verb call. Called, ed. So what is this structure? Well, it is the present tense and it is the passive voice, is called. Another example, the kitchen was cleaned yesterday. Was cleaned yesterday. Here we have the verb to be in the past tense, followed by the past participle, the ed form, cleaned. So this is the past tense and it is the passive voice. The shirts were made in China. The shirts were made in China. And again, this is the past tense, past tense, passive voice. And this is the third person plural, were made. Okay, so this is the verb to be as an auxiliary verb, and this is the past participle of the verb make. This is irregular, but it is the past participle of the verb make, made. The bridge will be built next year. And this is the future tense passive voice. So will be is the future tense of the verb to be, and built is the irregular past participle form of the verb build. Built. So this is the future tense passive voice. So the meaning of this is yes, someone will build the bridge next year. But the someone isn't important, so we use the passive voice. The subject isn't important. So the bridge will be built next year. So yes, the verb to be plus the past participle gives us the passive voice. Okay? And the final example is my car has been stolen. This is very common when we say this when we no longer have our car. We say my car has been stolen. And this is the present perfect tense passive voice. So has been is the present perfect of the verb to be, and stolen is the past participle form of the verb steal. Steal, S-T-E-A-L. So it is an irregular verb. Stolen.
Mana ko'rib turganingizdek, videom darsimiz ham o'z nihoyasiga yetdi. Agar sizga yoqqan bo'lsa, bitta like va podpisatsiya belgisini bosib qo'yishingizni so'rayman. Education online darslari hali davom etmoqda.